Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, okay, okay. Hear me out, y'all. Hear me out. I know this is not a RZR. I know it's not modified, but for $349, it is worth talking about. Let's get into the details.
So as we open the bike, this is what it looks like when it comes from the factory. I like to show you guys how the bikes are packaged so you know exactly what to expect when your bike shows up. My bike showed up with this styrofoam on here. It came in undamaged, not even a scratch. Putting the bike together, just one clip. Gonna make sure that clip is nice and tight, nice and snug. You're gonna check out the snickerdoodles back here. Gotta fold up the handlebars, give it a nice clickety clack, nice and tight. There we go. Moving up here to the handlebar things, these guys here will need, make sure these are nice and tight. It's got a little vise on the top, a little screw down with a nut on the bottom. Throw that dude forward, make sure she's nice and tight. We don't want that thing falling out on our ride. Seat post slides in, super easy, nice and smooth. Set the height, done, easy day. Undo your pedals, 1, 2, buckle my shoe. Here you go is a voltmeter / gas tank meter. Got the charger, comes in here in this little box. Charges the bike in about 3 or 4 hours. Now, I don't read good, but I appreciate this manual because it is descriptive and it's got good pictures.
So here's the battery in here. Open this up real quick. I want you guys to see where the battery's at and kind of what it looks like. Whoops, there it goes. So the battery's just kind of tucked in here, kind of loosely. Now, I didn't do anything with the battery. This is just the way that it came. This is the first time I've actually opened this up. All right, so here's the battery. Lithium-ion battery, 36 volts, charge voltage is to 42, and it's 5.2 amp hours. So that's the little battery that comes in here. And right on this other side, I want to show you guys what the controller looks like. This is the first time I've opened this too. So you'll see it the first time with me and what all this looks like in here. Oh boy. I'm not sure I want to take all that out. But, all right, so you know what? Screw it. It's for the YouTubes. So here's the controller to the battery connection, little XT60, very common in these e-bike type builds. Little bitty controller right here. Look at that little guy. Let's see, he's up to 36 volts and it's up to, looks like about a 13 amp controller. So pretty common controller for a bike this size with this kind of power. All right, y'all, so out of the box, this is a Onebot S7F. Now, if you go to the website at Onebot, they have about 8 different iterations of this bike in different forms or factors with different components and things like that. This one here, $350 that you can get on the website. And for the price, 350 bucks, it's not a bad deal considering all the things you can do with this bike. Now, it's not fast. It's not gonna have a ton of range. It is lightweight. It folds up. You can put it under your desk at work. You could put it in the trunk of your car. You can take it on a train. You can take it upstairs. It's a purpose-built bike. Anyway, I digress. The components on this bike, really quick, I want to talk to you about. It has 14-inch pneumatic tires. The fork here is not adjustable. It is basically just 2 springs in these tubes, and the ride is pretty okay. For 350 bucks, I mean, you get what you pay for, right? As the saying goes. So the forks, they do offer some kind of absorption as you ride. The brakes are 160 millimeter discs with a cable actuation type system here. So not hydraulic brakes, but for 350 bucks, cable brakes, yeah, I can live with that. In the back here, we have another 160 millimeter disc with the cable brake, a 350 watt hub motor, and it does have a little shock here in the back. It does absorb some of the road. Now, like I was saying earlier, it's not something I would take off some jumps, but in the downtown environment that I'm in right here, commuting around on this thing, it's ideal. The seat height is adjustable. Just pull the lever, the seat comes up. You can even take the seat out super easy if you need more space. Flipping the bike around, y'all, I'm gonna show you the locking mechanism here. So if you want to unlock the bike, it's got a lever on top. You just take the lever, pull back the main lever, I guess you could say, like that. And then the bike just folds in half. Easy peasy. If you've ever seen any of the other videos that I've done on e-bikes or electric dirt bikes or whatever, and if there's a problem with the seat, I'm gonna let you know. Because if a company puts a seat on a bike, that's terrible. Why would you do that? This company, Onebot, did not do that. This seat, I'm gonna be 42 years old, right? I wanna be comfortable when I ride. This seat is really comfortable. It's not bad. I could put a seat like this on my mountain bike and be happy with it. So good job, Onebot. So that's basically it. This is a no frills e-bike. It doesn't have a voltmeter. It doesn't have a horn. It doesn't have lights. It's pretty basic. Let's take a look at the dash real quick. Come up here to the dash, no lights. This bike does not have any lights. It does have a front and rear reflector. That's what you get on this one. It does have a bell. It's got the cable brakes here. And over here, this is the on off. So just hit that. It's just got a bar system that tells you, I guess, kind of what your voltage is. And this is the throttle. So that's it. That's a high level overview of the bike. Wheels, tires, battery, controller, motor. What else is there? Let's get on the road. Let's do a range test. All right, guys, so what we're going to do is capture our ride on the Relive app here. It's going to track our distance. So far, I've logged a mile. But anyway, as we go, we're going to map our ride so I can get a range test for you guys. When I started, this bike was at 100%. Now, granted, today, full disclosure, it is cold here in Austin, Texas. It's about 50 degrees. Batteries don't like to perform like they typically would at, let's just say, a 75-degree day. Anyway, on to the test. So we're doing the range test in downtown Austin on the Onebot. And while I got your attention, a couple things I want to mention is the kinds of sensors that these bikes come with. This bike has a Cadence sensor. And what I mean by a Cadence sensor is it identifies how you are turning the crank, and then the sensor realizes that there's motion, so it sends power to the motor, okay? So it's kind of a rudimentary way of identifying motion, but for a cheap e-bike, it works. On some of the more high-end e-bikes, you have what's called a torque sensor. And a torque sensor will identify pressure that you're putting on the cranks, and it delivers a linear amount of power based on the amount of input you are giving the bike. So that's just a quick rundown of the two different types of sensors that these come with. A torque sensor, like I said, typically on your higher end bikes, your more expensive bikes. But a Cadence sensor is totally fine too for a kind of a budget bike. And it does the same thing ultimately. It gives you assistance. So just depends on what your budget is and what kind of riding style you're looking for. All right, let's see how far we've gone on the app. So we've gone 3 miles so far, and I know you're wondering how fast is the bike. The bike goes about 12 or 15 miles an hour, so not super fast, but it's better than walking. And as I'm riding this, I don't have any huge grandiose expectations about what this battery is going to deliver as far as range. It's 5 amp hour battery. I'm pedaling the bike and I'm helping the bike along to extend its range. Now, if you rely on the pedal assistance solely, you're gonna get less range because the bike's doing all the work. For me, I'm doing the pedaling, I'm helping it up the hills. You know, I wanna see what kind of real life range I'm going to get. And if I get 5 miles, maybe 6 or 7 miles, that's about what I expect out of a 5 amp hour battery. Okay, so the bike is starting to blink at me. We are down to 1 bar on the, I guess you could call that the voltmeter. And we've gone 4.5 miles. I'm gonna try to squeak out that extra half mile. And I know some of you are probably asking, well, Kyle, how much do you weigh? Just for reference, I'm about 200 pounds of pure granite hardened steel, the hardest steel you can find. 200 pounds. Let's continue the ride. All right. The bike's dead. The bike's dead. Here's a recap of how far we went. Right at 5 miles with this bike. The one thing that's not such a deal breaker is the bike being so light. When the battery dies, it's not that hard to pedal. I mean, do I want to pedal it? No, of course not. But if I have to, I'll manage. But anyway, that's the end of the video for me, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. If you found any use in the content, be sure to like and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, and it helps the channel tremendously. Thanks, everybody. Bye.